Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. Man, it's been a really slow news week, hasn't it, man? Nothing has really popped off that was really exciting. I mean, I know, about the whole Ric Flair and the whole restaurant situation, but I didn't feel like talking about it because there wasn't really much to talk about. I mean, it's just Ric Flair being a man-child. I mean, how many times have we heard that story over the past few decades? Or, and I guess, Ric Flair's situation, I guess, the past few centuries, right? And, people are still, it's such a slow news day that we're still talking about this whole Sky Blue situation. It was bad. Don't get it twisted. Fans are dicks. I understand that. You understand that. We all understand that. But doesn't that just kind of tell you the state of professional wrestling currently at the moment, when that news circulating at the moment is what's dominating right now as far as the news feed is considered? It's Ric Flair being a complete jackass in a restaurant and Sky Blue being sexual harassed. I mean, it's boring. It's really boring. I mean, you got them talking to fucking Don Stevens over here, asking her, or I guess him, so how do you feel about the situation? It was hurtful. It was bad. It was terrible, and it was scarring for life. Oh, you mean against Sky Blue? Oh yeah, that was pretty bad. I thought you meant my life. Jesus Christ, like. But you know what? I'm grateful. I'm hopeful. I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, okay, well, we have Smackdown, right? So let's see what's on the top for Smackdown tonight, and hopefully this could be a good show. Otherwise, I'm gonna skippity myself. King of the Ring qualifying match: Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. Okay, that's pretty good. Angelo Dawkins versus Tama Tonga. Oh yeah, that's right. Bobby Lashley. I did hear about him getting injured. Okay. Jade Cargill versus Piper Niven. Oh dear God. Bianca Belair versus Candice LeRae. Oh dear God. Naomi versus Naomi Jax. Oh, kill me. Oh, kill me. Oh, we got Cody Rhodes making an appearance. Okay. So here's the hoping that maybe, bro. Oh man, so we're gonna get like Cody's new challenger. I gotta presume that him going to the King of the Ring has got to be doing something, right? Right, he's got to go to Saudi, so I gotta assume there's gonna be a new challenger tonight because AJ's in the King of the Ring. I mean, is he gonna? I mean, there's no way. This is a no-win situation also, because it's like, okay, either AJ doesn't win the King of the Ring and he's gonna go back up and run it back with Cody, which I don't have a problem with him running it back, but he kind of is in the King of the Ring, and it kind of looks weak for the guy who can't even proceed in the first round to be taking on Cody, unless he eliminates himself out of it or something like that, and he says he wants a rematch. I don't know how they go about that, but that's the only way I could see him being out of the King of the Ring and still getting a shot against Cody Rhodes. Or he beats Randy Orton, and then it's like, okay, well, he's in the King of the Ring, so regardless, we need a new challenger. There's no winning with AJ getting a head start, with him getting a rematch. Fucking Christ, you see where my head is at right now. Maybe you don't. You don't live with me. Fuck you all. But, this card looks fucking horrific. This looks terrible. This looks fucking it's like baby ass water. I don't know what to tell you. But you know what? I got nothing else better going on right now at the moment. So, without further ado, hopefully we can get something exciting out of this. Who knows? Maybe there might be a segment or two that they're not posting that might be really fucking cool. Or maybe we might get something out of the Cody Rhodes promo. Who knows? I know. Who knows? Who knows? So with that being said, let's get into the video. Come on. It's weird. On one hand, I shouldn't be surprised, but on the other hand, I am kind of surprised. So I speculated as to who was going to face Cody Rhodes. Who was going to be Cody Rhodes' first opponent going into the King of the Ring. I'm actually kind of surprised they're not running back AJ Styles, and I am surprised that they are going with a Logan Paul, but at the same time, I'm not surprised that they're not running back AJ Styles, and I'm not surprised they're going with Logan Paul. What I mean by that is, don't you feel like maybe it's just me, but don't you kind of feel like they could have got something else out of AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes? I think they could have ran that match one more time with a special gimmick, and you could have probably saved Logan Paul for Money in the Bank, right? Hell, I even argue you could have probably saved Logan Paul for the Clash at the Castle show coming up in June. I'm just saying, there's a lot of programs you could have ran with that before inevitably going up against, because you got to think, going into SummerSlam, it's going to be Cody versus Randy Orton, right? I'll even say this, I'm just throwing it out there. It's the King of the Ring tournament, right? That's the most important stuff going on. I think if you really, really wanted to establish a Damian Priest, for an example, I think, and this is just my opinion, I think maybe Damian Priest should have someone to go up against. Maybe he should get into a really, really brutal feud going into the King of the Ring. It's a Saudi show in the end of the day. Who gives a shit? And maybe Damian Priest should be the one main eventing the Saudi show. You know what I mean? It's the King of the Ring tournament in the end of the day, right? So this is just my thought process, especially given the fact that SmackDown had the majority of matches at the last pay-per-view in Lyon at Backlash. Maybe Raw should get the majority of the pay-per-views this time, and maybe that one segment that could have been SmackDown segment, maybe then that could have been Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes, and they could have been setting up a match going into Clash at the Castle. That's just my opinion. I just think it's a little bit too soon to be running this match right now. This is the program that you probably should be running right before Randy Orton or directly after the Randy Orton program. I wouldn't go this fast into Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes. I disagree with it. I disagree with the booking as far as going into it just this fast. I think you really could have ran back AJ Styles. I got one more match out of it. But with that being said, the deed is done. And to be quite frank, I'm intrigued. I'm absolutely intrigued. Going into the ring and watching them to cut their promos tonight, it wasn't anything spectacular in regards to anything that they were saying, but you know, they were coherent. There was no fumbling of the words. They got their points across. I mean, I will say that Logan Paul got a fact wrong. He said that him and Cody Rhodes debuted at WrestleMania 3 years ago, when in reality it was 2 years ago. But you know, outside of that though, you know, it was a fine promo. You know, they got their points across. It wasn't anything that was like captivating, like I said, but it was just the point of actually getting this across. Now, going forward, considering that this is Cody Rhodes and this is Logan Paul, can we spice things up a little tiny bit? It's not like we're trying to build up AJ Styles 2 weeks before the pay-per-view. Now you got a full fucking, well, when is Clash at the Castle? Hang on for a second. Not Clash at the Castle, I'm sorry. The Saudi show. We're in, where are we right now? It's May 10th, right? I'm curious. When is Clash at the Castle? I keep saying Clash at the fucking Castle. WWE King of the Ring. May, oh damn, that's in 2 more weeks also? So we got this week, or tonight I guess. We got next week, and then we got the Go Home show 2 weeks from this Friday. Okay, so it is one of those shows where it's like, okay, well, it's right around the corner. Kind of like the AJ Styles and Cody match. The only difference is this one has like 1 extra week to build. Okay, if you're going to do this, then maybe you should run the Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes angle going into the Money in the Bank. Maybe going into Clash at the Castle. I mean, it's already done. I mean, might as well just keep going and milk it out for as much as you can milk it for, right? Now, I thought at first that they were implying that it's going to be a double title match, because Cody Rhodes said he's going to be a Grand Slam champion if he wins the United States Championship. But, I mean, did Logan Paul say in his promo? I'm pretty sure he did, and maybe I just missed it. Did he mention whether or not his title was going to be on the line? I'm not sure. Or maybe I missed it. But regardless, though, I do want to see the match. I absolutely do want to see the match. It's just one of those things where it's like, I could have waited to see this match, and I would have much preferred seeing them run back AJ Styles, and then after AJ Styles, then you can do Logan Paul. But if this is the route that they want to take, then okay, fine, I guess. You know, I did notice though when Randy Orton, you see my mind's at right now, when Logan and Cody raised up their belts, is it just me? Like Logan, he raised up his championship belt pretty easily. Is it just me, or when Cody raised up his championship belt, he raised it up very, very gingerly? He didn't raise it up as quick as Logan Paul. He raised it up, and you can see a little bit. Maybe I'm just the one that's looking too deep into this, but it kind of feels like he was struggling a little tiny bit when he raised up the championship belt. Hey, look, it's that Alicia Taylor lady. She's from NXT. She got called up? Oh, good for her. That's her name, right? Alicia Taylor or something like that? Good for her. She's a really good announcer. That's pretty cool. You got Samantha Irvin on one brand and Alicia on the other brand. Yeah, that's really dope. They're really, really good at their job. So, you know, that's cool. But like I said, it is what it is. Right now we got Nia Jax going up against Naomi in the first round for the women's side of the Queen of the Ring tournament. So let's get to that and continue on with the show. Again, I'm okay with the decision. I just felt like they just went into it a little bit too fast. Bro, what the hell? I mean, I've only been watching NXT for about a month or so now, right? And I've seen Baron Corbin a few times on NXT, in particular the pay-per-view. What was it? Stand and Deliver with the tag team match with him and, you know, Braun Breaker taking on Axiom and what's on Nathan Frazier. Sorry. There it goes again. Sorry. Nathan Frazier. And you know, from what I was watching in regards to Baron Corbin's work in NXT, hopefully that translates over to the main roster, because he was actually kind of killing it there in NXT. At least compared to his previous work, I thought Baron Corbin was actually pretty good. Pulled out some maneuvers I think I've never seen him actually pull off before in NXT. And speaking of that, because we got the Carmelo Hayes and Baron Corbin match coming up next, he's substituting for Bobby Lashley, who had to pull out because of injury. I mean, I think honestly it was more so because they didn't want Bobby Lashley jobbing to Carmelo Hayes, but that's okay. Speaking of people who are actually pulling out moves and pulling out matches out of their asshole and actually competing well better than what they were previously, Nia Jax and Naomi had a match, and honestly this was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Seeing the two names on there, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. But then, you know, there was a part of me that actually thought to myself too, you know, these Naomi, if you guys don't know, Naomi and Nia Jax, they're super duper close in real life. Well, I mean, they're family members now because, you know, Naomi is married to Jimmy Uso, so I guess it only makes sense. But Naomi actually, I can't remember when I seen it. I don't know if it was a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago. I think Naomi was responsible for Nia Jax getting baptized, if I remember seeing it on Twitter like a couple of weeks or a month ago, around that time. Regardless, they're really close friends. Family members practically, so I was actually not surprised they pulled out a pretty well done match in this first round. They went out there and they did their thing. There was no botches, at least not noticeable botches, and they put on a capable match, a comparable match. And I gotta say, Nia Jax, man, since she's returned, she's gotten way better in the ring, way better. And this was good. Naomi actually pulled off a Hurricane Run, or I guess a Frankensteiner, on Nia Jax. She got her up on the ropes too, which is crazy to see. I mean, I'm pretty sure Nia Jax helped her, obviously, but still though, just the visual of Naomi putting Nia Jax on ropes is kind of fucking crazy. And they're hitting that Frankensteiner and Nia Jax selling it. And then that other spot also when Nia Jax hit her with the power bomb and then rode her forward onto her back to hit that leg drop. I actually like that move a lot, honestly. And then she finishes off with an Annihilator. Again, it was a fun match. The Samoa drop on the floor also. Suicide. Again, it was way better than it had any right to be. Not so much on Naomi's part, although I feel like she's a little bit slower compared to what she was previously, but more so on the part of Nia Jax. I really felt that Nia Jax did her part as far as carrying this match. Never thought I'd actually say that. But nevertheless, though, this should be fine going forward. I'm not gonna lie, it's fine for what I'm seeing in Smackdown so far. I wish it was a little bit better, but nevertheless, from what we've been seeing so far, nothing offensive. I say that I'm more so in the middle, leaning more towards positive than negative, but hell, it's only been 40 minutes since the show. Damn, 40 minutes already? Damn, that was fast. But with that being said, Baron Corbin and Carmelo Hayes are about to come up next, so let's check it out. Okay, I wish we can get more, like, storytelling, some more angles going on throughout the night. Like I said, again, I make this kind of comment about AEW all the time, and I wish, like, you already touched on Cody and Logan earlier on you only touched on Cody and Logan earlier on in the night. Why not just touch on them again, bro? Like, you could do something. Maybe Logan Paul can cultivate some kind of angle. See, they don't do enough of that shit anymore, bruh. Back in the days, man, when you have something like that, you know, you cut a promo earlier on the night, and then in the middle of the night, you do something to kind of build up to the main event, and then you have a cliffhanger. Man, we don't get shit like that anymore. Again, it's not just an AEW problem. I mean, they're a little bit more guilty of doing that kind of shit, but it's also a WWE problem, though. Nevertheless, though, we did have this match with Baron Corbin. Well, by the way, is it just me? I'm not trying to be that guy. God damn, bro. Baron Corbin looks like a salamander. Oh, bro. Carmelo Hayes smacked him in the head in the match, and I'm not gonna lie. There was a part of me, bruh, I wanted to smack. Like, you ever seen someone and their head is just so damn shiny, bruh? Like, it's just so... It's like, you just want to smack the shit out of that head. Like, I see bald people every day at my job, and every time I be talking to them, bro, and I keep my, obviously, my inner thoughts don't come out, but every time I see a person with a head looking like Baron Corbin, I'm just like, damn, bro, it'd be so satisfying to smack that shit, bro. I just want to smack the back of your head so badly, bro. But, you know what? I'm not going to pit too much on Baron Corbin, because he did come out to the ring. First off, let me just notate the fact that he has one of, if not the most badass entrance theme songs in all of WWE, arguably all of professional wrestling. I need to go on YouTube and see who the fuck did his theme song. That shit sounds so fucking dope. And also, I like his tights too. I like Baron Corbin's entire makeover now compared to where it was before him when he was Constable Corbin or King Corbin or Happy Corbin. He actually made reference to that of his promo. I didn't even mean to do that. But I like this Baron Corbin. He gets in the ring, and just like Nia Jax, very similar, he has improved drastically in the ring. He's hitting maneuvers that we've never seen him hit before. A fisherman buster. He hit like this. I mean, I don't know what you would call it. I guess technically it's like a suplex cutter. Not like R-Truth's, like Truth and Consequences he used to do, which, you know, he'll lift you up in a suplex and then he'll transfer it into like a stunner. Not like that, but like he'll do it like in a sit-out position. It was really cool. And he did like a DVD also. He was killing it. And if I had one critique about the match, though, and it's always going to be a critique, and I know people are going to probably be like, Devontae, get the fuck over it already. I can't get over it. What do you want me to say? I can't get over it. I don't like how in professional wrestling today, and again, it's not just a Baron Corbin problem, I hate how the big man and small man dynamic works in professional wrestling today. It's not like how it used to be back in the days. I don't even mind Carmelo Hayes winning the match. We all knew he was going to win the match. And if to be quite frank, he needed to win the match. He was supposed to win the match. But there were so many ways they could have went about having Baron Corbin sell for him, and they do this all the time. I had a problem with him with his Baron Corbin, whether it's Dominic Dijak, whether it's Damian Priest. AEW, they don't even know what the fuck weight limit happens to even fucking be. I don't like how the big man sell. It just irritates the shit out of me, bro. It really, really, really irritates the fuck out of me. But, you know, Carmelo Hayes did end up winning with a small package. Oh, hang on, I see Randy Orton. Hang on for a second. Solid promo from Randy Orton. I'll talk about that in a minute, though. So like I said, Carmelo Hayes hit a small package, and I do appreciate the fact that at the very least, they had Baron Corbin take a clean loss, but it wasn't so clean where it's like you can't see him come back from this. Because I would like to see Baron Corbin get a push. If he's going to wrestle in the way that he's wrestling right now, his tights look awesome. I love his attire. I love his presentation right now. I would like to see a gimmick put on him. It doesn't have to be super duper outrageous like a Tony Storm kind of gimmick, but I would like to see him more of a character, even if it's kind of cringe, you know, just something to at least put on top of him to kind of establish him a little bit more, you know, now that he's returned to the main roster. But outside of that, I like what I see from Baron Corbin. I want to see more of that. Same thing with Carmelo Hayes. I want to see more for him also. Just again, the big man, small man dynamics, I don't fuck with it at all in today's professional wrestling. Call me a boomer all you want to, it just makes no sense to me, and I fucking hate it, and I always will despise it. But as I said before, Randy Orton did cut a promo. Actually, let me go back a little bit too. Bayley cut a promo also backstage. I forgot that she was even women's champion. That's so fun, and I love Bayley, but man, the booking of Bayley as the redheaded stepchild, my god, I'm trying to figure out who do they treat worse, Swerve Strickland or Bayley. I might make that a community post actually. Who gets treated worse as a you know, I'm actually gonna put a community post on that. You're hearing this now, but you're probably voting on it like an hour or two later. But yeah, continuing on though, Randy Orton he cut a promo, and a fiery promo at that. A very, very good promo, you know. He was talking about, oh, you know, I'm going to be the king of the ring, winner, putting over AJ Styles. And before he left, he was like, Tama Tonga, you took out Kevin Owens, which I guess Kevin Owens is injured, I presume. And he's like, don't think I forgot that. We're going to meet in this tournament. Maybe not immediately, but we will meet. And when we meet, I'm going to make sure this RKO out of nowhere, you're going to see coming. Very fiery babyface promo from Randy Orton. I mean, I still really want Randy to turn heel, but that time will come. I'm going to be patient. You know, the more you wait, the better it's going to feel when it actually occurs. But like I said, you know, looking at how they're building up everything tonight with the lack of angles, which really does hurt the show for me. I don't mind the matches, but the lack of angles really, really fucking hurts it for me. Nevertheless, though, hopefully when they get to Randy and Cody, they have something special tied up into them, especially with all the history, and they actually give us a program happening throughout the show, because that's the primary focus. But like I said, I'm willing to wait to see what's going to happen with that. That's in the future. Let's just focus on the now. So, Jade Cargill, Piper Niven, they're having a match right now. Hopefully it's not terrible. Let's get to it. All right, another relatively, maybe the weakest match of the night, but it's not as if I wasn't expecting anything out of this match, to be honest with you. It was all about the finish. But, you know, Jade Cargill, and you know what I don't understand? Two things I actually don't understand. One thing I really want to get into in a minute, but, you know, a narrative that I keep hearing about Jade Cargill. Like, I understand that WWE is obviously the bigger brand of the two in comparison to AEW. That much is obvious, right? But, like, why do we keep talking about Jade Cargill like she wasn't in AEW competing on a regular basis and a former champion? I think, actually, I could be wrong. if she's not one of their longest reigning champions in AEW history, she's by far got to be up there in the top 3, right? For sure, the longest women's champion in AEW history. So, like, why do we talk about Jade Cargill like she's a rookie? Like, people say, oh, she's green in the ring and stuff. Like, I get you in, like, a comparison to WWE superstars, but, like, why are we talking as if she hasn't been wrestling for a couple of years now on mainstream television? Like, I'm not here to say that she's out there fucking wrestling like like Oscar or some shit, but at the same time though, it's like, let's not really pretend like she's been doing this, you know, like since yesterday. She's been around quite a while, and you know, I do understand that maybe they mean in the position of a ring general, because that seems as if what they're trying to groom a Jade Cargill for, right? They're trying to groom her for a position to not just go out there and wrestle, but they want to groom her for a position to lead the women's division. They want to groom her in kind of a Charlotte Flair-like position. And I guess they want to make sure that she's not just another wrestler going out there just going through the motions, but they want her to be a ring general so she could be a representative person for the company. I get it. And, you know, she won in this match with Piper Niven, and it wasn't bad. It just wasn't anything that I was expecting to be good. She did get a nice Blue Thunder Bomb. If you even want, I don't even want to call it a Blue Thunder Bomb. A Blue Thunder Bomb is a sit out. That was more of a John Cena-esque type of protoplex that she did on Piper Niven, which was impressive. And, you know, she did get the Jaded on Piper Niven, which was also impressive. Although, you know, give credit where credit is due. There's no way Jade Cargill is picking up Piper Niven like that without any help. You know, obviously Piper Niven had to jump for Jade Cargill. She had to put her feet up in the air. She had to take that face bump, you know, so all the credit in the world to Piper Niven also for being cooperative with Jade Cargill and helping her get over. She knows her position nowadays. Nothing against Piper Niven. I just want to give credit where credit is due. And look, I see Shinsuke Nakamura. He's on my television, but I'm not going to talk about him because it's Shinsuke Nakamura and who gives a fuck. But another question I want to ask. So someone help me out here. Did I miss something? Like, what is the point of the King of the Ring? Now, granted, I like that they're giving more emphasis for the matches because that's what the King of the Ring is all about. I like that part. But, like, is this like a SummerSlam 2002 situation where, like, the winner gets a championship shot going into SummerSlam or maybe Clash at the Castle? I don't know. I got to go back and look. But I don't remember seeing, like, maybe there is and I just missed it completely. But I would like to know whether or not there's, like, you know, a reason behind the King of the Ring. Or are we just doing it because, like, I mean, Saudi show, right? I would like for them to actually have something on the line if it isn't, though. I mean, it kind of feels like that stupid-ass Continental Classic where, like, they put a new belt on the line rather than having a number one contender shot for the AEW World Championship belt. But nevertheless, though, that's just a little small complaint. Actually, that's a big complaint, actually. I would like it for them to actually have something on their line that's plausible. But like I said, I could be missing it, and maybe they do, and I'm just fucking retarded. That's actually most likely the scenario. But if someone could tell me whether or not there's, like, a prize at the end of this tournament, that'd be really nice. But with that being said, we got Candice LeRae about to get fed to Bianca Belair, so let's get to that. Okay, like, please, for the love of God, can I get more of that? I would like to see more of that, sir. Please, I'm like a kid holding a bowl and a spoon. I don't want none of your shitty ass fucking porridge. I want some more of the Bloodline, sir. May I have some more, sir? Give me that, bro. That's what I want happening throughout the show. That should be the focal point. That's the kind of shit if you focus on. I don't know what is going. And look, I get it. I would give more leeway to WWE currently at the moment because it's the King of the Ring tournament, and they don't do tournaments like fucking AEW does tournaments. So I'll give them a little bit more leeway. But at the same time, that's what's going to get you ratings. You see people all the time going back and forth. I wonder how AEW can get ratings. You know, if you actually did what WWE is doing in regards to cultivating the bloodline, that's the kind of shit that you need to focus on throughout the night that's going to get you ratings, AEW. And coming back to WWE, if you want to boost up your ratings a little bit more, your viewership numbers up a little bit more without having to rely on The Rock or Roman Reigns, you need to focus more on that. The Bloodline angle still has muster to it, and now with all these additions being added onto it and it lingering off for Roman Reigns, you can still ride the coattails of Roman and still still boost this up, but you need to focus on it more throughout the show. Don't just hit on it one time. And I'm pretty sure, hopefully, I pray that with the match with Tama Tonga going up against Angelo Dawkins in a little bit, that there will be an angle coming out of this, that we can get some promos coming out of all this, because that's what I want to see. Not Bianca Belair and Candice LeRae. And I get it, it's for the Queen's King tournament, whatever. Okay, cool. Bianca won the match, that's fine. But more of this. You had backstage the new Bloodline, you know, you got Camacho. What's his name? Tamaloa, I think, something like that. Tamaloa. I still think of him as Camacho. And you have Tama Tonga, his brother, who, by the way, is a fucking character. He's back there grunting. I don't know what the fuck he's grunting over, but I don't give a shit also, because he seems like a character, and I love me some characters. And then you have Paul Heyman walking up to Solo Sikoa, and I feel like this is the most I've ever seen Solo Sikoa talk. Maybe he's done more talking in NXT back in the days, but this is my first time seeing him talk as much as he did just now. And he's telling Paul Heyman, hey, yo, I'm seeing all the side shit you doing, and it's kind of got me a little bit worried, bruh. Like, you ask yourself, all your people ask yourselves, why do the world look at us like this? Why do they keep siding with Palestine? Because it's the little sneaky shit you doing right now, boyo. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Wise Man. What was with all that facial stuff you were doing with Jey Uso? What was up with that, huh? What you doing, bruh? And Paul Heyman's like, I don't know. He's like, okay, another question. You took Roman Reigns out of the draft, which made us, by virtue, get drafted at number 3? Why did you do that, Wise Man? And he's like, huh? He's like, you trying to take food off my kid's table? Like, what you own? Actually, let me hear Tama Tonga's theme song. Hang on for a second. They look lit as fuck. I don't like his theme song. It just sounds like a generic tribal music with a little bit of interludes of just basic, you know, instrumental beats. I don't like it, but the look and the aesthetic of the Bloodline never looked any fucking better. I like the look of them coming out looking like, I mean, it's kind of weird because you have, like, you know, the family, you know, Tony D'Angelo doing this thing over there in NXT, and it kind of seems like the Bloodline is doing, well, I can't say that, like, they're still in the gimmick from Tony D'Angelo. I mean, they were doing the gimmick before Tony D'Angelo even showed up in NXT. So technically it's kind of in reverse, but Tony D'Angelo is the only one that's legitimately committed to doing the fucking gimmick with the family. I do like the look, you know, again, the aesthetic of it does kind of come off like a mafia, but nevertheless though, going back to what I was saying earlier on, U.S. Solo Sikoa saying, you trying to take food off my family's table, Paul? And Paul's like, no, I wouldn't never do that. I would never do that. I would never do that. And he's like, you know, you didn't get in contact with Roman, but I did. And by orders of the tribal chief, you're my wise man. And Paul Heyman's like looking super confused because it's pretty obvious that Solo is lying. But we'll get more into that as the story develops. Solo Sikoa asks Paul Heyman, come here, nigga. Give me a hug. Bring the shit in. Give me a hug. Hold me closer. Hold me tighter, Paul. Hold me tighter, Paul. Paul's like, he's like, yeah, that's right. That's right. You my wise man now. He's like, why you crying, Paul? Out of happiness? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, your hair is thinning too. I like that in my wise man. And you know what? I'm cool with that. I'm cool with this. I'm fine with this. I want to see more development for this. Like I said, after this match, which I'm about to watch right now, give me more of this. Give me an angle after this. Give me something out of this. They should be closing out every program if it's not going to be Cody Rhodes. Again, I'll let it slide because it's the King of the Ring. But please, more of this. Thank you. Thank you very kindly. Alright, so we're going to have a little bit of a small rant real quick. I'm not going to get like super angry. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, like, I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to scream. At least I'm going to try my best not to, but I am aggravated. Seeing this main event made me aggravated in regards to the booking and what I've been seeing throughout the night. Now, first and foremost, I would definitely say this was more of a mixed show. I think for me, I had more fun recording and watching the show at the same time than I would have been if I was just watching the show by itself. You know what I mean? That's at least from my perspective. I will say that this was not a horrible show, but I'm not going to sit here and say that this was the best show of all time because it absolutely wasn't. This match of AJ and Randy Orton, and I also will say this from a positive standpoint, these guys went out there and they had a great ruthless aggression era, old school 20-minute knock 'em sock 'em type of match. I did enjoy it. I love the presentation, the entrance, going into the match in itself. I actually like this match better than a WrestleMania 35 match. This was actually a really good match. Lots of counters. I love the spot with AJ Styles going for the phenomenal forearm off the announcement table and Randy catching him, hitting him with a backbreaker on the ring apron, then transitioning that into a backbreaker on the announcement table twice. I love the counters with Randy trying his best to avoid the calf crusher on multiple occasions because he was selling the leg. I love the fact that AJ Styles, for the most part, was trying his best to avoid the spike DDT, and neither one of them was going for the legitimate finish. They were both trying to counter their signatures the entire match, which I do appreciate. This was a fantastic match in my honest opinion. Great match. Great television match. Honestly, I didn't see Raw's King of the Ring, but this is my favorite match so far in the King of the Ring tournament for what I've seen so far. I really did dig this match. Now we get to the negatives, and it has nothing to do with the match in itself, but more so the importance. So there's two negatives I want to talk about. So first off, you just had AJ Styles come out of one of the best matches of the year with Cody Rhodes in the World Championship match, right? Did it really make sense? And now, I get it. There is a caveat. In the end of the day, it is Randy Orton that beat AJ Styles. It wasn't some fucking nobody. I will at least say there's some solace in the fact that it was a Randy Orton that beat AJ Styles. But even then, I would definitely say, should you have put AJ Styles in this position? Right? You had multiple people within the tournament. Would it have made sense for AJ Styles to lose in the first round match, knowing he was just in the main event with the world champion coming out of Backlash? I don't like that decision. I would have much preferred if AJ would have lost in the next round. Hell, maybe he should have made it to the finals and lost. But for him to lose in the first round, knowing he just came out of a match that for the world championship, I don't know, it just does wonders as far as ruining the credibility of the world championship, knowing that this happened in the same week. Now, I wouldn't have a problem with this if this was a couple of weeks later, a month later. At least then, it dies down a little bit as far as the match in itself with AJ and Cody. We're now over this. Logan Paul's having this match with Cody. But to do it on the same week, does anyone else have a little bit of a problem with that? Does anybody else? I can't be the only one, right? Now, let's put that to the side for a second. From a booking standpoint, I thought that was atrocious booking. Not the fact that Randy won the match, but the fact that AJ lost in the first round. Now we get to my big rant. My main reasoning. My magnum opus, if you will. Now, it won't be that big of a deal, but it is something that I do want to talk about. Yo, help me out here, man. Help me out here. I get it. It's the King of the Ring. Why can't we have gotten more angles tonight? You had the Bloodline right there. You already touched on the Bloodline already with the Street Profits stuff, with the backstage stuff. That's what people were really intrigued with. That's what we wanted to see. That's what I damn sure wanted to see. I wanted to see more emphasis put on that story right there throughout the night. And you want to hear something even more crazier? It wasn't just them that didn't get enough segments tonight. It was also Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul. That was the main focal point. You have Cody Rhodes as your world champion. I complained about this with Swerve Strickland. Do I think it's as egregious as Swerve Strickland? No. But at the same time, it is still bad. You need to establish Cody Rhodes in that position. He just beat Roman Reigns, arguably the face of this generation of professional wrestling. He beat him for the belt that he held on to for nearly half a decade. That is a near half a decade reign. He is one of the longest world champions in the history of the company. One of the longest champions in the history of the company. You need to establish Cody. Why do I feel like I want to see more of the Bloodline than I do want to see Cody Rhodes? And I'm not going to put all the onus on Cody. I'm not going to sit here and say that his promos happen to be boring, because they are, by the way. Don't sit here and pretend that they aren't. They are. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that his character is boring. It is. It absolutely is. But I'm not going to pretend that it's all Cody's fault. This is when you have to be a little bit more versatile, WWE. And I talk about this with AEW, and I'm damn sure going to say about WWE. We need more angles happening throughout the night. Not everything has to be about promos. Not everything has to be about contract signings. That's all we've been seeing from Cody Rhodes these past couple of weeks. He comes out, he bitches and he complains and he moans and groans. Oh my God, my daddy. My daddy. I'm your champion, my daddy. You are a good opponent for me, but you are not better than me. Every fucking promo, it's the same fucking thing. And of course, next week is a contract signing with Logan Paul. You're already doing your best effort right now to undermine the shit out of Cody Rhodes' title reign. And like I said, back at the WrestleMania review when I put that community post out, I'm gonna give him a couple of weeks. I'm gonna give him a couple of months. It's still not over yet. I'll still give it a little bit of time, like I'm gonna give Swerve Strickland a little bit of time. Same thing. But why do I feel like I want to see more of the Bloodline angle than I do want to see the Cody Rhodes angle? And I'm not going to say the same thing that I would say about Swerve being interjected into the whole EVP storyline. I feel that's a necessity. That is a must, especially given the credibility is completely ruined for that World Championship belt. That's the distinction that Cody Rhodes has an advantage over. His World Championship, it ain't ruined. It's highly prestigious, more so thanks to Roman Reigns. If anything, all credit goes to Roman Reigns. Now it's up to you to continue the lineage of it, the prestige of it. It's the same situation now with Gunther, why I was afraid for him to lose the Intercontinental Championship, because I didn't think Sami Zayn could carry the ball. Still has yet to be proven, by the way, but again, that's the Intercontinental Championship. It's supposed to be in that kind of position. Gunther just above and beyond went what he had to do for that championship belt in regards to the actual status of the championship belt. As far as his booking, as far as his matches, Cody Rhodes, this should be a given. You shouldn't be playing on AEW's wavelength as far as how they treat their world championship. You're better than that, WWE. This should not be a situation where I want to see more of the Bloodline story than I do want to see the Cody Rhodes angle. That should not be a situation. I'm not advocating for Cody Rhodes to have to be in the position to go up against the Bloodline. We've been there, we've done that. Even with Solo Sikoa. Maybe in a couple of months when Solo establishes himself as the actual leader of the Bloodline, when we get some more stuff going between Solo Sikoa and multiple superstars. Hell, one may even make an argument talking about Randy and AJ tonight. Where was the Bloodline to screw over Randy Orton? He did call out Tama Tonga, right? And I get it, they're going to have a match. They're now linked up. It looks like it's going to be Tama Tonga versus Randy Orton. I get it. That's a big time match for SmackDown, given the situation that happened at Backlash. But one may make an argument that maybe Tama Tonga should have probably came out and screwed Randy Orton. And then Randy Orton can screw over Tama Tonga. And then we can get a blow-off match between them going up into the Saudi show. That's what the booking should establish. But then, again, that leads us to the position of what the fuck is going on with Cody Rhodes. Look, all I'm asking for is to remember that Cody Rhodes is your world champion. And he's not just your world champion. He's the guy that beat the half-a-decade near-long reign of your former champion. We are trying to make sure we're trying our best to put Cody Rhodes on par with Roman, right? That's not how you're doing it right now. That's not how you're doing it. The Bloodline angle is more important than the Cody Rhodes stuff. And it's even worse because it's Cody and Logan. Do better, man. Like I said, was it a bad match? Fuck no. Was this an overall bad show? Fuck no. But there are some things that do have me worried. And I'm worried the same way as to how I worry about AEW when they treat their world championship. I shouldn't be feeling that way. I shouldn't. Not in the Paul Levesque era, right? Right, Triple H? Shouldn't be feeling that way about how you're booking currently at the moment. Fucking do better, man. And I hope we get better next week. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces, P.I.'s. Do better.